Die Dresdner Eislöwen werden präsentiert von Vimodrom, der starke Partner für Ihre Gesundheit.
Ja, wir wollen vorausschauen natürlich auf das kommende Wochenende mit den beiden Spielen gegen die Selber Wölfe. Freitagabend auswärts, 19:30 Uhr, live bei Spray TV und natürlich für alle, die auch live dabei sein wollen, dann in Selb. Und am Sonntag ist Sachsen-Derby um 17 Uhr gegen die Eispiraten Krimitschau. Wir wollen, wie gesagt, ein bisschen vorausblicken mit unserem Neuzugang Brett Welychka. Wir werden das auf Englisch machen. Das heißt, es wird gleich einen Untertitel geben dann für die Fragen und die Antworten, sodass ihr dann auch alle versteht, was der Brett gesagt hat, für die, die des Englischen jetzt nicht ganz so mächtig sind oder eben nicht täglich Englisch sprechen. So, I'm gonna switch to English. Brett, you've been here for about 2 weeks, so how have those first 2 weeks been, being in Germany, being in Dresden? You always wanted to come maybe to Germany to get to know the culture and everything?
Yeah, it's been great. The hospitality has been great. The boys in the locker room have been great. Very warm welcoming for sure. Yeah, I've been to Germany before. We've been to Germany, different cities and stuff, and I always kind of knew that at some point I was gonna play here. I just didn't know when. I've had a couple opportunities too. There was other ones that were kind of out there at the time that maybe seemed better, or maybe how it is, but I think I've always wanted, like I said, I've always wanted to play here, and I think just from everything I've experienced and heard pretty much already is definitely matched to it.
So you're here with your fiance Carly. Have you had the time to maybe visit the city? Dresden is a very historic city. To maybe look for some cool spots, or maybe talk to the guys where some cool spots are, or hasn't that been the time for that?
I think we've been twice to the city. One on Saturday, we went to a restaurant and just kind of walked around, saw a lot of the places. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. More of the older part, and I love the history too. So I'm right in there on that, and then. We've gone to a couple cafes and whatnot. We live in Kata, which is 12 minutes away, so we kind of stay over there, go for walks and whatnot, and we like the quaint little, beautiful, quiet over there as well. But it's been busy week and a half, I'd say, between games, practicing, and some other things too, like setting up the apartment and whatnot. So we haven't really had the time, which we normally would probably be going 2 or 3 times a week, but I think now once things are settled, we'll be going a little more.
So, as I said, you have a fiance, so you're engaged, and in July you're gonna marry your fiance. How's the planning going? Do you have to do anything to do with it, or is it all her stuff and you're gonna focus on hockey?
Yeah, you have to ask her what's going on, because she's the one that's taking control in that. Absolutely. I mean, I've been kind of throwing in my 2 cents every now and then, but she knows what she's doing, and we're both really excited, and I think it's starting to kind of get near that time where you kind of finalize things. So it's cool. You get to do it once, and I think that we've had fun with it, and I think it's going to be a special day.
So what's the difference coming to Germany between playing hockey like you did in Great Britain and not for Nottingham, and now for a German club?
It is different. I think, I've only played 2 games, so it's tough to get a full read on things. But if I was to be completely honest, I think the UK has a little more structure in terms of, on the ice where players are. I think it's easier to know where players are, but I think from the experience here, I can see that maybe it's a little faster because guys are, so hungry to do well and move up and try and get into the DL. And so I like that. I like that it's fast. I like that it's intense. And I think that kind of fits my style as well. So, it's always tough comparing leagues in Europe, but, I would say they have very similarities and they have some differences, but at the end of the day, it's hockey, and we're here just to make sure that you do your thing, and then hopefully everybody else can do theirs.
So what is your thing? Is it more? Are you more of a natural goal scorer, or maybe more of a setup guy, two-way player. How would you describe your style of hockey, how you play the game?
Yeah, so if I'm being completely honest again, I think at the beginning of my career when I was playing in junior hockey with the London Knights in the OHL, I think I was, more of a grinder, up and down, north-south. The names that I played with they were kind of the skill guys, scoring guys. But as my career went on, I started to find the back of the net more. So I was able to bring that playmaking ability and scoring ability. And that's kind of the same way that my pro career has started as well. I think my first year I was up and down in the AHL in the East Coast in North America, and in the East Coast I was more of a scorer, and then up in the AHL I had to grind because you're playing on the fourth line and it's difficult to get ice. But and then Denmark 2 years, more of a playmaker, and then last year I was shooting more, and then this year I just kind of clicked that I needed to shoot more. I have a good shot. Obviously, I'm aware of that now. I'm able to say that after, 5 years of pro. I know that that's something that is a factor for me that benefits everybody. So I need to use my shot more, and most of the times, it's creating something around the net or hopefully going in. So I wouldn't say natural goal scorer, but I'd also say playmaker that can find the back of the net and that's hungry to score.
Yeah, we've seen you in all situations, PK, power play, so you're going to play an important role for us, and it's only been 2 games, but we're kind of waiting for the first goal. You said you had a good shot. We've seen that you have a good shot, but the first goal will come.
Yeah, I think, like I kind of was telling you earlier, like I like to make sure that I'm doing something to help the team win, whether it's working hard, finishing a check, back checking hard, being loud on the bench, helping guys out, young guys, whatever it is. I think all those things attest to being a good teammate, and then usually when you're doing that stuff, you're working hard and your work ethic is high, usually that's when the goals come. So I've never really been a guy sometimes you get a little streaky where you don't score for a while, but I mean, it's been 2 games, and for me, usually when one comes, they flood in, so.
Maybe tomorrow, the game in Seit. Obviously, you can't say much about our opponents. Is it maybe an advantage that you don't know who you're playing against, or do you take all the information in from the coach, from your teammates, or maybe you're going into with a clear mind? You haven't lost those games against Seit, which were pretty disappointing losses.
Yeah, I think you're right. Honestly, when you don't know the opponent, I think it's better, to be honest. I think every first time you play in the season, you play a new team, it's like, I don't know these guys, it's whatever. And then you kind of start to see their tendencies and who's good, who's fast, who's hard to play against. And sometimes you have that in the back of your head. But for me, I mean, I've been around long enough now to know that it's professional hockey. Any team can win at any time, so you can't really take any team lightly. And I know that from what I've been hearing, that this is a good team that is desperate for some wins. So we're going to have to be ready, and that's our full team.
You've had your first home game against Bad Nauheim, 4-0 win. On Sunday is the next home game. The arena will be packed. We will sold out, so it's going to be a great atmosphere, and it's a derby game, special games especially for our fans. Although it's just another 3 points that are on the line. So you excited for the game on Sunday?
Yeah, I love derbies. I think anytime you can play somebody close to you, I think it's awesome. I've heard that every time Krimishow comes here, it's packed. So I'm excited. I mean, the fans were great last night, even for a Wednesday, and I don't even think that's the maximum that we can get to. So I think keeping Sunday in mind. Obviously, tomorrow is the main focus, but keeping Sunday in mind for that home game, it's going to be great.
Dann gehe ich mal zurück ins Deutsche. Ja, also, das war Brett Welychka, unser Neuzugang, mit ein bisschen zu ihm. Kleiner Ausblick auch auf das Wochenende. Wie gesagt, morgen zählt's. Heimspiel gegen Seit, Auswärtsspiel in Seit. 19:30 Uhr geht's los und dann am Sonntag vor ausverkauftem Haus das Sachsen-Derby gegen die Eispiraten Krimitschau. Wir öffnen 1,5 Stunden vorher, also 15:30 Uhr. An der Kasse wird es eventuelle Rückläufer und eventuelle Resttickets noch geben. Ansonsten werden dort die hinterlegten Karten natürlich sein für die reserviert hatten. Und ansonsten auch die Arena-Tür öffnet natürlich 1,5 Stunden vorher. Also wir freuen uns auf das Derby, aber der Fokus natürlich erstmal morgen auf dem Spiel in Seit. Thanks, Brett.
Danke.